Here's a shot of a definitely pro-homosexual website. It's the Human Rights Campaign, hrc.org, and this is an article called Equally Speaking, dated August 15th, 2008. Here's a paragraph. It says, the nation's only 24-hour crisis and suicide prevention helpline for LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered youth is launching its first social marketing campaign to increase the awareness of LGBT teen suicide. Why is there a crisis hotline for something people think is good? Can we find a website that, or a 24-hour suicide crisis telephone service for people becoming Christians? I think not. And another note on this same article, it says the California Teachers Association donated $250,000 to defeat Proposition 8, the proposition to ban same-sex marriage. Here's another article found on the Human Rights Campaign website. I guess it's a question and answer section. So the question is, what information is available about the needs of gay and lesbian youth in school? So, going through, looking past the biased agenda and these things, we find this part here. It says, for example, the 1999 report of the Massachusetts Youth Risk Behavior Survey found that gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender youth to be 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than heterosexual youth. Here's another article from about.com. It says, according to the Center for Disease Control, Massachusetts Department of Education, Youth Risk Behavior Survey, 1999, 33% of gay youth will attempt suicide, and gay and lesbian suicide attempts are 4 times that of heterosexual youth. Here's something I found supporting my tortured death claim. This is from the pamphlet from the American Cancer Society. At the top here it says, gay and bisexual men have an increased risk for cancer. It says, the most common types of cancer among all men are skin, prostate, lung, and colon, but several factors put gay and bisexual men at a higher risk. The article goes on to say how gays are apparently afraid to get help in the first place to stop the cancer. And then it says, gay men are more likely to smoke. Why would gay men be more likely to smoke? Probably because of anxieties. That's what I understand people smoke for, is to curb anxiety a bit. It says, smoking accelerates the start of AIDS among people with HIV. Why does it talk about that? Because AIDS is epidemic among homosexuals. So do you want cancer and AIDS? This article from the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, talking about homos again. Right here it says AIDS has been diagnosed for more than 500,000 homos. Over 300,000 homos with AIDS have died since beginning of the epidemic. That's 300,000. Homos made up more than 2/3, 68%, of all men living with HIV in 2005, even though only about 5% to 7% of the men in the United States reported doing disgusting things with other men. In 2005, study of 5 large U.S. cities, 46% of African American homos were HIV positive. Warn your neighbor, love them enough to tell them and warn them of these things that can happen if they participate in this disgusting activity. Another part, it says, for complex reasons, HIV/AIDS continues to take a high toll on the homo population. For example, the number of new HIV/AIDS cases among the MSM in 2005 was 11% more than the number of cases in 2001. It is clear that AIDS is really a homosexual disease. Of course, they say straight people can get it, and that's various ways, but it is extreme in the homosexual population. A person who goes and sleeps with another person knowing they have HIV is really guilty of trying to hurt that other person. And these diseases that can lead to death, well, really a person who knows it and goes and sleeps around, they are guilty of deadly negligence, which is equivalent to murder. Here's a little article on the CDC website again. Some homos use alcohol and illegal drugs, contributing to the increased risk for HIV infection and other STDs. The use of substances such as alcohol and illegal drugs can increase the likelihood of risky sexual behavior while under the influence, as well as the likelihood of sharing needles or other injection equipment. The use of methamphetamines or meth by homos is a very important public health issue facing homos. I really doubt that you can find a website that says that Bible studies lead to the use of illegal drugs and HIV and STDs or meth. It's possible for some people going to a Bible study to do these destructive things, but it's not something that's reported because it really doesn't happen. Suicide again. Even though religious tolerance, I think, is really a shoddy website with information. Their supporters are liberal, so I'll use the information anyway. It says data concerning young homosexuals is somewhat unreliable. It appears that about 1 in 3 teenage suicides is by gay or lesbian. Since homosexuals represent about 5% of the population, gays and lesbians are greatly overrepresented.